Hi there, Steve Plummer here, and welcome to a marketing briefing for small business owners. Let me share my screen and we will get started. Okay, so as you can see the title there when I can start, there we go. All right, so I'm going to share with you today just some tips and tricks that I've learned over the last dozen or plus years as a high demand direct response copywriter about how to master the art of engaging messages. It's a free 10-minute briefing for small business owners. We may go a tick over 10 minutes. Hope that's okay, adding a bit more extra value in there. And what I'm about to share with you today is something that is applicable to across multiple media, whether it's social media posts, emails, websites, blogs, and so forth. It can be used in any media. So pen and paper ready, guys, let's dive in. All right. I'm a big believer in this, the importance of words. And, when you change your world, you literally can change the world. You literally can change your world. And I'll show you some examples of that as we go through. All right. However, let's be realistic. What I'm about to share with you is not a magic pill in any way. What it will do, though, it'll help you move the needle. And that's what everyone wants. We all know the magic pill doesn't exist. But, we certainly can move the needle quite quickly when we choose the right words and do the right things from a copywriting and a marketing perspective. So let's get stuck in. Here are the 5 things I'll share with you today. To use this proven attraction device, it's really important to do this, how to structure your messages, what words to use to grab attention, some guidelines to follow, really, really important, and the big response killer and how to avoid that. That's how we'll finish. So, all right, let's get stuck in. I want to start by just talking very briefly about this really good book called Thinking Fast and Slow by Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman, because he talks about this concept of cognitive ease versus cognitive difficulty. Cognition, the cognitive thing is the way the brain works. So basically, he says that when we make things cognitively easy for people, acceptance is high, but alternatively, when it's difficult for them or there's friction, that's another word, acceptance is low. So cognitive difficulty means low acceptance. Another word for low acceptance is confusion. We all know in marketing that confused people do nothing. So everything we do from a messaging point of view needs to follow that principle of cognitive ease. We must make it easy for them to follow along and take the action that we want to. So please keep that concept in mind. Okay, so number 1, use this proven attraction device. It's really, really important to use it's novelty, right? Novelty, newness, new and interesting stuff, right? New and interesting stuff is really important. The reason for that, it gets back a little bit to the cognition type thing, at least the brain stuff. New and interesting stuff works because novelty is the happy chemical in the brain, dopamine. Now, dopamine's the chemical associated with cocaine addiction, the pleasure from sex, etc., etc. So us human beings are hardwired to respond to novelty and newness, to different stimulation and so forth. When we can do that in our messaging and come across new, it's a much better connecting point, much easier way of getting attention. You might say, well, Steve, give me an example. How do you do that? Okay, glad you asked. Well, I have a client in the shed space in South Australia, and one of the times of year they've done quite well is in terms of response is they every time steel goes up, farmers buy sheds. Why? Because they want to save money. And about 18 months ago, they had 6 steel price rises in a row. And so my job as the marketer is, how do I present that in a novel or a new or an interesting way, right? That's the thing. I'm going to say exactly the same thing, which is some version of hurry up, prices are going up. If you want to save money, get it now, right? That kind of becomes boring after 3 or 4 times. So my job was to find some novelty or some newness around that to put people in. And you can see there the different colors of of the message, the different headline, the different fonts, etc., etc. It's all about novelty. And even in this was the marketing material for a record campaign. Even the headline there, the unconventional path. Unconventional means new or different. And so novelty is a really big thing in your messaging. It is a challenge sometimes to do it, but I'll give you the concept there. Okay, number 2. Is use a formula, right? Formulas are really important for cognitive ease, for reducing friction. And here's the thing, right? I always tell people that copywriting, it's not about fancy words and being a good writer and so forth. It's about structure. If you can structure things in the right way, it makes it cognitively easy for people to follow, and therefore acceptance is high. So really important fancy words, not so much. Structure is really important. The one that I use, it's not the only one, the one that I use about 80 or 90% of the time is the PASPA formula, which is identify a problem, aggravate the problem, solve the problem, prove the solution works, and then ask them for action or tell them what to do. Okay, it's proven, it's worked over decades, responsible for goodness knows how much success in that time. I didn't make it up, not claiming that I made it up, but I use it and use it all the time with great success as well. And like I said, I use it just about everything I write, whether it's online or offline, social media or not. All right, so here's a quick example. Now, you don't have to read every word, or you might want to pause the video and read every word, but find out while you're scanning it, where is the problem, where's the aggravation, where's the solution, where's the proof, and where's the action. I'll pause for about 10 seconds just to let you scan that. Okay, so let's have a look. There's the problem. There's the identification of the problem. There's the aggravation of the problem. There's the solution. There's the proof. And there's the telling them what to do. They're asking for action. If you use that in just about everything that you do, it's a really good fundamental or basis to get that message out there and make it cognitively easy for your market. All right. The next thing is trigger words. Trigger words are really important because us humans all respond to them. Remember, cognitive ease, cognitive difficulty, we want it to be cognitively easy. So there was a study done, it might be in the early 90s, the mid 90s, of the top 100 newspaper ads of all time that brought in the most money. And they analyzed the headlines and the words used in the headlines. And the researchers came up with the number next to each word is how many times it appeared in those most successful headlines. And you can see you and your are the two most successful words. So I incorporate these as much as I can into my headlines, whether I'm writing for myself or I'm writing for a client. Couple of examples. Here's my book many of you would be aware of, The Influential Market. If you haven't got a copy, grab a copy. But here's the top third, the hero section. There's the words. How many trigger words can you see? I'll be quiet for about 20 seconds, maybe a little bit less, while you just scan that and see where those trigger words are. Okay, let's have a look. New, who, want, your, new, how, you, your. And if we look over at the subtitle of the book, that's even got your in there as well. You might go, well, look, there's book now. Get the book now. And then, gee, if you're really clever, you go, oh, secrets is a trigger word as well. And profits is just like, pardon me, it's just like money. Okay, so there are no accidents. Here's one I did in the real estate niche. It's a landing page for a webinar that went on to sell lots of properties. So again, I'll just look at the copy on the right-hand side to start with, look at the first two bullets, the bottom two bullets, how, why are the trigger words in there. You can scan the rest of the copy and see other important words. Speaking of important, look at the red box down the bottom. You, versions of you are there. Look at the hero section on the right-hand side, even the register now, that word is really important. Okay, so there are no accidents in any copy. Again, use those trigger words, really important. Remember the Jerry Maguire movie, Tom Cruise walks in and says, hello, I'm here to speak to my wife. And, Renee Zellweger goes, oh, you had me at hello. And that's the key thing. You've got to get your market at hello. If you don't get them at the top at hello, it's over. Nothing else matters. So a lot of time needs to go into your headlines and a lot of thought, obviously using novelty, using the trigger words and so forth. Okay, so a general guideline, here's what I do. Headlines are around about the 8 to 12 words. Now, remember, you can always find exceptions to every rule, always, but these are generally where I start with the guidelines. Those are the page numbers that you'll find references to headlines in the book. Subject lines, I keep to 3 to 5 words. There's some page references. Speaking of page 38, the one underlined there, this stuff works. I got this text after a lady that I know had bought a book, and she said she used the subject lines on page 38 to get some really good open rates and make a sale or two, which is fantastic. Really happy for her. And then the first line of copy, I try to make about 5 to 7 words long. So again, they're general guidelines. You may want to follow those. All right. The other thing too is, how do you know if a headline is any good? I love this old school test. If it was just your headline and a phone number, so like an old style classified ad, would the phone ring? Quick example, welcome to East Coast Labour Hire. with the phone number. That's not overly compelling. What if you change it? Here's the fastest, easiest way to get qualified and gain full-time employment with the phone number. Chance of it ringing. So if you want to just do a quick mental test, is it any good or not? That's a really good one. Okay, so telling them what to do. There's lots of mistakes with this. Number one, if you want to get orders, wanting to make sales, don't assume that they know what to do. You have to say, click the button below. When you click the button, this happens. Right? You've got to be explicit in telling them what to do. Also, too few reminders. We think that my market is really intelligent and they're going to remember. They don't and they won't. People are busy. People have got lots on. They've got lots in their mind. Make sure you've got lots of reminders. Make sure your instructions are clear, because remember, confused people do nothing. People say, look, I don't want to be salesy. Well, you've got to be strong and standing at the point of sale. Make the sale. Ask people for the order. That's really, really important. And also understand their fear. People don't like walking into a dark room, so you've got to tell them what's going to happen to them. So that's really important. They're the top 5 things that I see that are mistakes that people make when we come to that important part of asking for the order. So really important. The top and the tail are absolutely vital. You've got to get your headline right, got to get your call to action right. If you don't, nothing else in the middle matters so much. So a lot of time into those. All right. Quick examples. This is from the shed niche as well, or the rural space. Look at the first page of that particular catalog. It's got 3 calls to action. There's at least 2 on the next page, the emails that went with that. 2 clear calls to action. Don't assume that, I can just do one and it's all over. Won't work. All right, here's the sales page, or snippets from the sales page to the Influential Marketer book. You can see there's 8 different times where the buy button now is. Some people go, oh, that's too many. But so here's the thing. I don't know what's going to trigger a sale. Is it a picture? Is it some words? Is it a testimonial? So I want to make it easy, cognitively easy for people without having to scroll around and look for a button. If they think, I want this, there's a button there for them ready to buy. So cognitive ease in everything that you do is really, really important. All right. So there's our briefing. If you have got some value out of that and you would like some more support, here's an option for you. I run what's called the Influential Marketer Success Lab. And that's a live online, meeting or meetup for business owners and marketers and copywriters for 13 weeks. So we meet on a Monday or Tuesday around about 12 o'clock. We go for an hour. And essentially what I'll do, I'll take a lesson out of the book and I'll unpack it a little bit like what I've done here. I'll unpack that for people. So there'll be a bit of direct teaching like that. I share with you winning examples again, like I've shown here. You'll get some of those, explained why they work and why they did well. I'll critique some of your work, give you some advice and some feedback on what you're working on at the moment. I'll answer your questions, obviously live and in real time. And it's a really good point of accountability and connection, because we all know that being in business can be quite lonely. Even if you've got people around you, doing the marketing and so forth can be quite lonely a way to go about your week. So it gives some accountability, it gives connection with like-minded people, which is a lot of fun, and a whole lot more. I'll throw a few surprises in there as well. All right. Is it any good? Is it useful? Well, Marcus, who's a copywriter, he said he's now more courageous in all his business decisions. Love this one. Jane from Adelaide said she received clarity that solved a problem on her first day, our very first day, which was fantastic. Bruce has done this 3 times. He loves the connection. It's a really good version of Think Tank, the swapping of ideas. Lindy said it keeps him more consistent. She enjoys the catch up. And Katia said she felt blocked, unwilling to put herself out there. Now she's much more empowered. So it is a really good results-driven, a little bit of a community that we develop. And there's only 8 places in each intake, and we're doing another intake really, really soon. So you're invited if you're interested. Next step is really simple. You need to have the information in front of you. So express your interest. When you do, you get sent an information sheet, which lays it all out for you, just so you know what's coming up. So 2 things, scan that or go to that, enter your details. When you do, you get sent an information sheet. It's a 4-page information sheet that outlines everything. And then from there, look, you'll know there's no hard sell here. There's no big upsell, no pop-ups or anything like that. You'll just know whether it's right for you or not, and whether you want my help. It's probably one of the most cost-effective ways, other than my book, you can work directly with me. So, yeah, that's it. Success Lab, the Influential Marketer Success Lab. It's 13 weeks. We have a lot of fun. I tell a few fairly ordinary dad jokes, but that's to be expected. That's part of the course. So you're invited to that. Scan there or go to the, the URL, the website there and express your interest and request the information sheet, and you'll get sent that. Goodness me, frog in my throat. All right, so that's me done, guys. That was the briefing. I trust you've got some good value out of that. And I thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the future, either at Success Lab or somewhere down the track. Bye for now.